Taiga, that how it is spelt. Taiga is based of the real person Rustage met in Japan, a frat boy with no riz. Also, he is kind of like Larry Butts from Phoenix Wright. What Rustage said Taiga looks most similar to is Nisha Noya from Haikyuu. Rustage's top 3 animes are One Piece, Detective Conan, and Haikyuu. Kai's birthday is on International Fisherman Day, which is June 29th. Kai turned 21. Last episode, group gathered information about this terrorist organization's slogan, which is, "The idea is gathered in the mind of a free thought." They cleared one of the hideouts in Washingram, and now they are in the capital of the Bollywood kingdom. As soon as they step off their vessel, Taiga starts to act weird. He turned marine cap that he always puts back to close his eyes. When Damien asked why is he acting this way, Taiga reveals that he doesn't want to be seen, as it is now revealed that the capital is where Taiga's home is located. And he doesn't want to be seen because he's supposed to be on the run from his home and his father. Fishermen at the port after seeing Bradley are very shocked seeing fishmen and are acting very racist towards Bradley. Bradley is very welcoming and tries to act friendly with them, but they shook hands and they're good in the end. Fisherman's name is Jurgen. It is revealed that Bradley's mother is a stingray too, and his father is how Bradley said, a nasty shark. The way that Bradley spoke about his father makes it seem like his father is still alive. Bradley's father is a great white shark. Meanwhile, Yoken, not paying attention to the group, is just pondering around and looking at the capital, having a culture shock, since she's never been in such a big city before. A little lore for you. Kai found Belle on the beach, right before leaving his island. Interestingly enough, Marines are not seen that often in the capital. There is HQ here, but there are no patrols going around, as Jurgen said. Jurgen continues about how he reported a crime few weeks ago and never heard back from Marines. It is clear that Jurgen is very nervous to talk about this stuff. He also mentions Monopoly being involved, which controls all the bait for fishermen, how they have to pay them money, and if they don't they just steal all their fish. Monopoly's owner name is assumingly Kibbleton. It is seen that the most of the businesses in the city are owned by that person, and it's now revealed that Taiga's father is the person who owns the corporation, Kane Kibbleton, the CEO of the organization. Taiga explains that his father does not care about him and only cares for his company. He didn't talk with Taiga for months, and so Taiga decided to run away and take his little brother with him and become his own independent man. As the group is on the route to the HQ, Yoken mentions how Taiga should learn hiding from Bradley. She continues that she used to play hide and seek with Bradley, and she could never find him. Then, Bradley explains that it is pretty easy to hide for him as his front side is bright and his back is dark, so it is easier to blend with the shadows. Bradley is up to teach Taiga some stealth skills for free, which shocks Taiga. HQ is kind of on the edge of the city. Group notices that there are much less Marines for the base this big. In the lobby, Lieutenant Pluto greets them. Group hands over the captured pirates and the suspicious knitter named Taylor, and also report the information they gathered about their slogan and the shipping higher-ranked Marines to their boss. Pluto is assuming they do so to make a public execution of them. On the other note, it is revealed that the capital is the only place in the kingdom where civilians can carry guns. The decision was made by the current King Hamburger. Group brings up the fact that Kibbleton's corporation owns everything here, and Pluto adds some new information to that. Kibbleton's corporation has a very big influence in the city, not to the point of a king, but Pluto adds that Marines couldn't actually do anything as there is no evidence of Kibbleton's doing something illegal. Meanwhile, Captain Bailey is missing as she went to hospital to drop Taiga's little brother, Phipps, there, but she's not back yet, which concerns the crew. Taiga is also concerned that all the medical workers there might recognize his brother, and such crew decides to go to the hospital. Group receive their day salary, which is 2,000 berries, and Taiga loses it immediately to Belle in the poker game. Pluto was explaining to Bradley that pirates' treasure is usually stolen and that Marines usually redistribute money among the people who lost their belongings. It is kind of seen that one of the Bradley's interests is primarily money. Also, there is a little interesting note as Pluto mentions how he lost all of his crew because of the pirates. He slams his fist on the desk while saying, "Why the fuck is he still alive?" Probably referring to Blake. And after that, the group is dismissed. Group, on the way to the hospital, is looking around the city. They notice that the only thing not owned by Kibbletons is some coffee shop. Statue of Freedom that holds hamburger is, as mentioned by Taiga, was built by Kane Kibbleton. Damien's looking at statue's head for a second, remembering Marine Killer's slogan, and moves on. Yoken runs forward to buy a meat mountain and to not slow down the group. She really liked it and kind of wants more. Kai gets one too. Bradley gets pizza. Group walks in the hospital, and the lady behind the counter says that Captain Bailey delivered Phipps and then left the building. Group enters ward number 4, where Phipps lies, and they meet there a white-haired doctor named Salt. Salt says that the boy is doing fine, and mentions that he actually had a very touching moment with Captain Bailey. Some might say dramatic moment with Phipps touching Bailey's hand. By the way, because Bailey is Paige's daughter, her surname is Turner. Bailey Turner. When asked was there happening something strange lately, Dr. Salt shares his conspiracy theory. He comments on how when the hospital has ordinary people, hospital is supplied as normal, but as soon as there an influx of Marines, Kibbletons have some excuse to delay the supplies. Also, Salt mentions that he does not understand why Phipps is in the Marines at all. He doesn't have physique to qualify as one. Another little note is that Bradley was in college, but only on a sports scholarship, as he says, C's get degrees. After some analysis, group decides to track down Bailey. They find wolf's fur around the Marine base and follow the lead, finding her wolf but not Bailey. Bailey's wolf is a girl and has a scar across one eye. Kai calms down the wolf, asking for help to track down her master, and they follow Wolf's lead. Wolf in the end leads them to Kibbleton's building base. That building is like a skyscraper, not as tall as modern ones but still the tallest building in the city. It just has 2 doors at the front, with everything made out the glass and a giant golden K embedded into it. Damien and Kai distract 2 security guards while Bradley sneaks into the building. As soon as Bradley sneaked into the building, Captain Bailey walked down the stairs and went out the building. She was quite surprised to see everyone at front. Her wolf didn't meet Bailey happily and started growling at her. She didn't seem like she usually was, and that was suspicious. Group suspects same happened to Bailey as what happened to Zeal. At the same time, Bradley goes up the building, reaches the very top where there is a head office of King Kibbleton, guarded by 2 security men. Bradley decides not to intervene and leaves the building. Group, after a little bit of thinking, decides to enter the building. They use Taiga as a bait to enter. After a little scrap with the guards, they got the attention of the boss as guards decided to tell him that Taiga's around. With that, group decides to go after Bailey as she might be mind-washed as Zeal and might do some horrible things. With Kai's mark and Bailey's wolf, they notice that Bailey went to Palace through hospital. Group assumed that Phipps is not there already, and that Bailey, being mind-washed, took him, so they followed her further. Royal Palace is in white, red and blue with a hamburger on it. There are guards at the entrance. They look like British Royals guards but have a cowboy hat and boots on. Yoken deceives them and they enter the palace site. There are white, red and blue flowers around. There are statues of previous kings. As they walk further down the palace, they reach another doors with more royal guards protecting it. This time they didn't let them in. So, Damien decides to deceive them with a fake pirate attack outside using his tinkering tools. One guard goes to check and the other one is knocked out by Bradley. Then, they open the doors and enter the throne room. Inside the throne room, group witnesses how Phipps and King almost shook hands, and Bailey unconscious on the ground. Phipps notices group enter the room, and Bailey suddenly wakes up, and they start talking at the same time. Taiga doesn't understand why Phipps doing so, and Phipps calls Taiga his son, telling that Phipps is long dead. Bollywood Kingdom arc reaches its climax, and very hard fight is about to start, and the episode ends. To be continued.